Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. Um, I got a bunch of new cards and I've anointed them and got them ready for the readings. It's interesting. Um, they're very well made cards, all of them. So I'm gonna use them today in a reading that I was wondering if had a serial killer in New England because some people are believing that. First of all, the cops are saying they don't see a connection at this point. And I've heard anywhere from 8 to 13 bodies being found within a couple of months, but some of those bodies have been like years old or at least a year old or more. So it's not like someone's going around just in one week and killing everyone, right? But serial killers, yeah, I mean, they take their time, they do it whenever. And what I found interesting though is with a deck of my new cards, the true crime, I was sitting here thinking, should I do this? And is there actually a serial killer in New England? And these two cards popped out as I'm shuffling. The serial killer, right? I mean, I can't make this stuff up. I'm sorry. I usually do the shuffling right in front, but I said these two popped out. I'm not going to disregard them. And water. So I know they've been finding some bodies in the water, some bodies in the woods, various. There's one male in the midst of all these bodies. I was picking up there was a serial killer, and the card came out that there was, and maybe he's just putting them in the water. Maybe the other bodies, because I know they're not all from the same serial killer. You know what I mean? There's not like, say, if there's 13 actual bodies at this point in time, I think they will find more if they coming to the surface or finding them in the woods or whatever. I do think there's more, but um, not all 13 are done by him. You know what I mean? Is what I'm saying. For some reason, the number 4 is getting very strong, so 4 out of the ones that have been found and people are trying to connect right now, and honestly, the one in Maine, her name is Sunny Stewart. I might do a reading for her later this week. I do not think she's connected to this serial killer. I do think that someone around her that weekend did it, but that's for another day. Um, and I could be wrong, but I'm feeling like he's more these are like from Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. I don't know if he hit New Hampshire yet or if they found anyone in New Hampshire. But some quick facts real quick. So, based on FBI estimates, there are 25 to 50 serial killers active in the United States at any given time. The United States has had the highest concentration of recorded serial killers in the world, according to the Radford University. These are right off Google here, guys. Um, there are 4 types of serial killers: the visionary, the mission oriented, the hedonistic, and the power control oriented. Uh, and actually, America remains fascinated with its serial killers, yet in recent years, and they do believe that at least this is what they're telling us. There's less serial killers now because there's more cameras, more people with, ways to find the evidence. They're less able to go from kill to kill to kill. You know what I mean? In recent years, serial killings have plummeted. One scholarly study found that the number of active serial killers dwindled from 198 in 1987. So get this straight. In 1987, we had 198 serial killers roaming around, the largest number on record. And then it went to in 2018, there were 12. But this is what they know of. You know what I mean? Because serial killers go under the radar many times, okay? Until finally they're caught and then they connect everything. Um, Let me see. There was something else here. The most common victim for serial killers are elderly people, ill people, or children. Anyone that's vulnerable, right? Anyone. I mean, pretty much. So for a serial killer that's a male, a woman being alone with no one else around is vulnerable, right? Um, one more thing. Hold on. Average age of serial killers. The average age for victims. Okay, the victim is the average age is 27, but I don't know how they get that. That's the average age for the victims. I'm not sure how they come about that. And believe it or not, I didn't know this, but racial disparities in victimization, because the question is which group is most likely to be the victim of a of a violent crime. This is a violent crimes. Black Americans were more likely to be victims of violent crime than other racial groups in 2023. Unbelievable. That's so sad. But I think that also includes what they call the black on black crime, I believe. But either way, it's very sad. All right. And that was it. Those were a few facts I wanted to bring out. Facts per Google, per FBI. You know what I mean? So let's see. Let me put this over here. And I hope my sound is much better. So yeah, we got a serial killer. I believe this serial killer does target women. And I don't think he even cares about the age group, to tell you the truth. If he can get them alone, he's going to do what he does. I also believe the serial killer, I do believe there's more than four, but four of those 13 that are assumed to be part of it. Like I said, I don't think the 13th, which is uh, Sunny Stewart here in Maine, I don't think she's part of it. I could be completely wrong. All right, let's just see what the cards have to say. Everything I say is alleged. I am not a cop. These are not facts. I'm doing the best to read the cards and then let the spirit lead me in intuition, psychic abilities, and all the clairvoyance, clara essence, all the claras. I am just a vessel trying to do the best to try and see clarity and truth and justice. All right. So let's see. Can you tell us anything about this New England serial killer? I do believe water is a big part, though. He might just dump them in the water, or he waits till they're around water. But, and who knows, it might take years for them to connect the dots. Along with the fact that they don't always tell us everything. They might already know. I mean, the cops might have already connected some dots, and they're in the process of continuing. But they're all different states, you know what I mean? I think the biggest clutter was Connecticut, but that's at this point in time. Right? Also, I'm getting that the serial killer, at least at the beginning when he first did his first one, the first one or two kills, he was like in his early 30s, like 30, 32, maybe 34 most, but I keep hearing 32. Crap, hold on. All right. I do think there's been drinking and drugs involved too. All right. So we got the Hierophant. He does like control. He might actually think he's doing it for a spiritual reason. Something in his past has been brought up to him. I also get that too, like this isn't someone from 20 years old on who's been going around the country killing. I don't think it's anything like that. Something significant. The month February, just heard that February of whatever year that this all started was important to him. Now, I mean, February could be his birthday, but I don't know. But I know the month February is very important to him. And I think that's when it started. I'm also hearing there was a pause for like maybe a year to 2 years he didn't. But then he started again for some reason. Again, these bodies have been like dug up, washed up, whatever. So I don't even know what the oldest body is that they found, how long it's been there, and if that's the actual first body. I don't know that. I'm just saying the first body that he killed, first woman he killed. There was something significant about February around that. I don't know if it was in February. I'm saying to him it was important. Okay, hold on. Things became very unbalanced around him and others he knew, either others at work where he worked or his. This is working on. Usually it is a work scenario, an agreement, partnership, right? I don't know if something happened. He owned his business and something happened with the partnership, or if his family was working on something together financially and that broke apart or whatever because things became very unbalanced in his life. And that's money. Something became unbalanced and stressed out in his life. And this is like partying. It is good for like, it depends on the cards around it. You all know that, right? So I do think there was partying involved there. He might actually drink or do some kind of drugs before he attacks, or he has the women do that. You know what I mean? That makes him even more vulnerable. And for some reason, I'm thinking this guy, he doesn't keep this. I know everybody, there's usually an MO that all these serial killers use. For some reason, he's not. He's purposely kind of changing it up a little bit here and there, so that no one thinks that there's an actual serial killer if they're ever found, per se, right? He's kind of covering his tracks that way. All right, let me bring these back down. Hold on. Let me go back into these because these were the cards I started with too. True crime. True crime. Tell me more about this serial killer in New England. And I say New England, but I also hear in the background East Coast. So I don't know. He could go even further than Connecticut down the East Coast, or has, and now he's not. I'm not sure. But let's see. So much craziness in this world, guys. It really is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I also read on that Google thing. I read it this morning. Um, that at any given time, we could walk by throughout our lifetime. I think it was like 36 or 56 murderers, and we don't even know it. I want to say 36 because that's the lesser count. So we can walk by people like in the mall, in the store, going walking on a path even, even a city trail, you know what I mean? And someone just walked by us and we're like, hi, hi, and keep walking. We both keep walking around and it's a murder and we don't even know it. Crazy crap out there. All right, I'm rambling. Here we go. Serial killer of New England. Tell me more about this serial killer of New England. What Anything you can tell us. Anything you can tell us more. I will show you the cards more. I know I'm trying to get everything set up just right, but I keep changing it up. That's weird. Hold on, I want to pull a few more because that's really weird. And these are new cards. Like I said, I anointed them. I did, do a few shuffles earlier on all of them just to see if they were picking up my energy or, see what they were like. And so please bear with me. I might misinterpret, but I normally am in tune with the cards. Has anyone else been following the New England serial killer, or at least the thoughts of it? Cops, that'll be the last thing the cops come out to admit. They have to have all the evidence and things in order to ever admit something like that. Right now, I think we're in the day where, it used to be don't tell them about it because it might cause fear. But now it's more like just tell them so they can be aware. We'd rather just be aware. Yeah, here's water again, beach. Whole East Coast has beautiful beaches. So there's something here about faked death, but they are alive. Faked death, and they're alive. Or it could also, I'm trying to think. Now, I could be wrong here, guys. New cards I'm trying to interpret. Was there a near death experience? Did he get like in a car accident or something, right? And he made it through. But there's something about faking death and they're really alive. My God, could you picture if this guy was like, people all along thought this guy was dead, and yet he's the serial killer? That would be really weird. Excuse my little Netflix moment. Netflix. There's greed around this. I think it's greed, and I think there's power. There's legal proceedings. So legal proceedings and greed. My God, I mean, he could even be a lawyer, but there is greed behind it. I think it's a lust for power and money. But he's not stealing from these women. That's why I don't understand. It's not that we know of. There's no like he's not, and these women are like just wandering or whatever. It's not like they have their life earnings on them, right? But there is greed involved. Oh, wait a minute. This came under this. Okay, got it. Got it. All right. So this situation with either work, business partner, family partners, something around work, remember money? There was greed involved in that, and actual legal matters came into it to try and balance out what was unbalanced. So they're giving me some past history on this dude, which is always good. All right. And again, we have, like I said, the beach, water, the beach. And like I said, New England, the whole East Coast has beautiful beaches up and down it all around. Let me see what's in these cards. The place oracle. Well, this wouldn't be good because he's all over the place, tell you the truth. Like I said, woods, water. Let's see. These are what lies beneath. What lies beneath? Show us more. Show us more. Bring us into the shadows. Give us only truth. I'm but a vessel. Ah, divorce. Now that makes even more sense. All right, the divorce. Maybe it happened in February, right, of some year. But that would bring in a partnership of finances and everything. Someone got greedy, the legal proceeding for the divorce, and he feels it's still unbalanced, that there's nothing happened right to him. Of course, he's the victim. He feels he did no wrong, but the divorce, breaking contract. That could be why he's going after women too, angry at the woman who did this, or in his mind did this, right? Divorced him. What else? Interesting. Be careful for. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Hold on. So he is intelligent. I mean, he knows what he's doing. That's emotional intelligence. Busy city. He might actually care for like an elderly person, or he did, say his grandparents, or he might even be in like the health field or something. Be careful for a copycat. Once this, there's more bodies being found, there could be a copycat trying to copy this. Sad but true, people do this. The situation is about to explode. Things are about to pop off in flames. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to be like, I feel more like there's just going to be coming out more and more. Found a body here, found a body there. You know what I mean? And that might be what gets, all of these states to work together and say, all right, we have to put together exactly if this is a serial killer, what we're going to do. Right. And there's a new beginning, expecting, and there's a baby. Oh, maybe the year to 2 years he took off, he was becoming a dad with someone or a dad. Yeah. Or he thought he would be, but there's a new beginning here. Or maybe he left the area and he's expecting a new beginning. In a way, he's fulfilling fantasy, which a lot of serial killers will do, unfortunately. Maybe he's fulfilling the fantasy. Well, fulfilling the fantasy of harming the one who actually divorced him, you know? Shattered, broken, completely ruined. That's what he felt after the divorce or whatever that partnership was. Let's leave it at that, right? Whatever the partnership was, he felt destroyed that whoever she was or whatever the partnership was, he felt destroyed. Like his whole life was gone. And I think it was more over losing so much money in it or something like that. It was more about, basically I hear, it's like I have no life. You took my whole life. You took everything away. That type of scenario. And I know, I mean, people go through divorces every day, but some people just can't handle it. And I think it was more than her just divorcing him. It could have been um, the money situation. And also, if she took the child, maybe this child, like he was expecting a baby with her. And after the baby was born, maybe she said, enough, I'm gone, I'm done, we're out. And she took the baby too, you know. Come on, serial killer. Tell me anything about this serial killer, how the cops working on it. Well, like I said, they're not claiming it's a serial killing. Shut oh, cut short, uphill battle, fighting for a lost cause. That's what he felt. Oh my God, it's telling me all about him, which is good. I'm picking him up, but I'd like to pick up more about like the police and if there's going to be justice over all this. I hope the volume is working better. Feeling run down, tired, rough time, too much. One more. Oh, this one wanted. Hold on. I see. Yes, fitting it all into place, coming together united. So the police are actually starting to fit things together. Either now or near future, they will come together, united in different, wherever they are, different states and stuff, and they will come together. I don't know if they'll announce it. They might want to keep it under the hood until they catch him or catch more about him. You know what I mean? Have more to say about it. Oh, sorry. Okay, here we go. These three just randomly came right out. So we got the veil of secrecy, respect, confidentiality. So the cops are definitely keeping things quiet. It is required be cautious about sharing sensitive information and maintain discretion. Trust must be honored and protected in all interactions. So I'm kind of wondering if there are a couple of cops that actually have connected some dots already and they know it's happening, but they can't say a thing because, of course, you don't want a serial killer to know that you're on their tail, right? We got the legal compass, align your actions with ethical. Yeah, they're going through step by step, crossing their T's, dotting their I's. And the forensic insight, analyze situations with precision and detail, use logical reasoning to dissect and understand complex scenarios, apply a forensic approach to uncover all relevant. They're going to be going through all forensics of all cases and see if anything connects. Anything at all connects. One more. The unspoken truth. Unspoken truth. Pay attention to what is not said. Nonverbal cues and unspoken words can provide significant insights. Look for underlying messages in communication and interaction. Do I want those? Do I want those? So basically, yes, there's a serial killer. He feels like all hell hit him. He has no life. And basically, when people start thinking of that way and getting so depressed and sunken down, and everything else, I'm sure he's justifying in his own mind why he's doing this. He's outliving a fantasy and he's going to do what he wants to do because he's got control of doing it. It's about control and greed with him. And of course, some emotional because he's upset that his whole life was torn apart, right? And he can't handle it. Can't handle it. Hold on. Strange phenomena involved. I don't think that's anything like supernatural or anything. I think the strange phenomena involved could be his drugs. He could be hallucinating when he does certain things, right? Well, sorry. Hold on. Too much at once. I'm just gonna pull, I think, one more on this one and then get a card of hope for justice for all these women and that one man that were killed by him, and all of them just being killed. Some, I guess they say it was natural cause and stuff, you know. I only pick up the ones that have been found, some of them, four of them, are connected to him at this point. That's what I'm getting. All right. Uh, see, the killer is out of the area, so he may have moved. And social media will provide valuable clues. All right, let's get a card of hope that justice will be served and that he will be arrested. Yeah, that's upside right. Well, let's finish this off. Hope for the justice for all these people getting killed by him. Sanctuary. Wow. Um, Embrace the need for solitude. Your inner sanctuary calls you. Remember, renew yourself and thrive. He may be like taking a break again or something, but he's like basically going within, finding a quiet spot. He knows he needs to be quiet. He needs to um, stay low because their body's being found. And things will quiet down if he just stays still. Basically, if he doesn't do any more, he feels this will never be connected to him. He's going with it. He's going to hide. Like, I mean, he could be right in plain sight, but he's keeping his head down low. You know what I mean? And if he's out of the area, I mean, he's even a little. I don't think he's going to, not right away at least, more killings until things quiet down. I also think that the cops are worried about if they call him out, basically saying we have a serial killer. That's what a lot of serial killers will do is step back and then they won't be able to catch him, right? And I think they're worried about that too. All right, so that's what I got for this um so far. I don't know if I'll make another video. I will if I'm being led to. And I hope everyone's doing well. If you've been following it, feel free to see what you put down what you see, what you believe may be happening. All right. Love and light to all of you. Take care.